Today's Ask Me Anything is actually a great question for once. We have actually some of our members that send in some amazing questions, and one of them is very specific. So I'm going to try to answer it in a broader kind of manner so that it can apply to more people. But the question comes from a personal trainer who says he's been offering personal training services for a while, and he wants to kind of add that extra touch for his clients. So what can he do? You got to kind of think about what the industry is doing instead of thinking about what a personal touch means to yourself, right? Like, because we all have very different standards. And oftentimes, especially if we're service driven, the standards we hold for ourselves are very different than the standards others hold for us. So while we think we're going the extra mile, we're going the extra 100 miles sometimes for no reason. And what I mean by no reason is it's great, but then it's not sustainable, it costs us money. And in the world of business, your goal is to provide value so you can trade it for more money. But your goal is also to be able to survive by lowering costs and doing good business, because that's the point of business, is to profit. So when you're a personal trainer, in this particular example, you want to go the extra mile, you have to kind of look at the industry and what it's offering. What are other personal trainers in general doing? What is the industry norm for going that extra mile? Is it maybe to include a diet plan within the kind of like, I guess, within the exercise routines that often would be maybe something people would pay for, but in this case, you're doing so for free? Could it be to be as flexible to allow people to cancel appointments without charging them? These are all things that could be considered going the extra miles depending on what your industry does. Just remember that if whatever the industry does, that's what typically people believe to be kind of the common ground for what you should be doing too, because people are paying for that service and they expect usually the same thing they've heard their friends is getting or their cousins getting and so on and so forth. So I highly recommend doing a little bit of research to understand what your competitors and what your friends that are in the industry are offering to the same clients. Then understanding what do your clients not like or like about the services they're offered. Excuse me. Often people don't like maybe the hours or don't like the location or don't like the type of exercise or the way it's focused or pushed, and instead they prefer to have a more one-on-one approach, right? Something that may cost more money in most cases and they can't afford it, so they go to group fitness. So giving maybe that one-on-one personal touch in a group fitness setting is where you're going to differentiate your class from something a competitor is doing at a local chain. So really understanding like what your competitors are doing and what the industry deems as normal or kind of like these extra perks. And then topping that is where you're going to go that extra mile that's unexpected. The unexpected is going to turn to just that ultimate satisfaction, trust, and loyalty. And that loyalty is going to turn to more business, word of mouth, and referrals. So I think I would think about my business that way. I tried to broaden it specifically to kind of understanding the thought process as disclosed in the third circle theory, rather than kind of focused on just the industry of personal training, what to exactly do step by step. Simply because first off, I'm not a trainer and I don't have the research. Secondly, I think it's just better for people to kind of understand the process behind something and then find their own way and their own touch rather than be told what to do. Because if you're going the extra mile and giving that personal touch and I'm telling you what it is, obviously it's not very personal, right? So think about that, and we'll see you guys next time. Today's dumbass question for Ask Me Anything comes from, I'm not even going to say a name, somebody that just want to know how to stay motivated in the morning when they wake up.